Okay, let's be real. For more than 20 years, one family has completely changed the game when it comes to fame, turning their actual lives into a massive, multi-billion-dollar empire. But with a family tree that seems to sprout new branches every single year, it's honestly tough to keep up. So, how did they do it? And who's who in this modern dynasty? Let's map it all out. You know, it sounds like a joke, but it really gets to the heart of their wild place in our culture. They're not just celebrities anymore. They're basically a cultural institution, shaping everything from fashion to social media to business in a way almost no one else can. And look, it's a totally fair question. With so many kids, partners, ex-partners, and grandkids running around, the family tree has gotten seriously complicated. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to break it all down piece by piece. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at how they even got so famous. Then, we'll meet the woman at the center of it all, Kris. After that, we'll dive into the two big family branches, the Kardashians and the Jenners. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at the billion-dollar legacy this dynasty is building. So, where did this whole story even begin? Well, the name Kardashian first popped onto the public radar way back in the 90s, when Robert Kardashian Sr. was part of O.J. Simpson's legal team. But the real launch into superstardom, that happened in 2007, with the premiere of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a show that would run for an incredible 20 seasons and pretty much rewrite the rules of reality TV. At the absolute center of this entire universe, there's one person holding it all together. The matriarch, the manager, the mastermind. Kris Jenner. Every single branch of this massive family tree starts with her. So Kris's life has basically created two distinct but totally interconnected family lines. Her first marriage was to the lawyer Robert Kardashian Sr., and that's where we get the four Kardashian siblings. Her second marriage to Olympic champion Caitlyn Jenner gave us the two Jenner sisters. These two branches are the foundation for the whole dynasty. And for about the last decade, there's been another key person in her life, her long-term partner, Corey Gamble. If you've watched their newer shows, you've definitely seen him around. All right, let's get into it. First up, the Kardashian branch. And we're going to start with the oldest of the siblings, Kourtney. Kourtney is a mom to 4 kids. Her 3 oldest, Mason, Penelope, and Reign, she shares with her longtime, very famous ex, Scott Disick. Her youngest son, Rocky 13, is her first child with her husband. And yep, that husband is none other than Travis Barker, the drummer for Blink-182. They were friends for a long, long time before they got together and married in 2022, officially blending their two families. Next up is Kim, arguably the one who launched the family into a whole new stratosphere of fame. She also has 4 children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, and she shares all of them with her ex-husband, the rapper and designer Kanye West. Now, since her divorce from Kanye and after that very public romance with comedian Pete Davidson, Kim has most recently been linked to NFL star Odell Beckham Jr. Following Kim is the third sister, Khloe. She has 2 children, her daughter, True, and her son, Tatum. Both are with her ex-partner, the NBA player Tristan Thompson. Their romantic relationship has been, well, a roller coaster, to say the least, and it is over. But Khloe has been very public about the fact that they're still great friends and are really focused on co-parenting their 2 kids together. And finally, rounding out the Kardashian siblings is the one we see the least of, Rob. He has one daughter, Dream, who he shares with his ex-fiancée, Blac Chyna. Okay, so that's the whole Kardashian crew. Now let's pivot to the other side of the family, the kids from Kris's marriage to Caitlyn Jenner, the Jenner sisters, Kendall and Kylie. So first up is Kendall, and what makes her stand out in this big family is that she's the only sibling who doesn't have any children. She's joked a lot about loving her role as the cool aunt to all her nieces and nephews, though she has said she wants kids of her own someday. As for her love life, well, after a high-profile relationship with music star Bad Bunny, the latest reports say she's slowly navigating a restart with her ex, NBA player Devin Booker. And finally, we have the youngest of all the siblings, the beauty mogul herself, Kylie. She has 2 kids with her on-again, off-again ex, the rapper Travis Scott, a daughter, Stormi, and a son, Ayer. After things ended with Travis Scott, Kylie has moved on to a new, and let's be honest, very high-profile romance with the actor Timothée Chalamet. So after going through all the kids and all their kids, what's the grand total? Get this. Kris Jenner is now a grandmother to 13 grandchildren. I mean, a whole new generation of the dynasty is already here. But look, this isn't just about the family getting bigger. The dynasty itself has gone through this massive, very public evolution over the years. I mean, this timeline really tells the story, doesn't it? You go from a certain level of notoriety in the 90s to becoming full-blown reality TV stars in 2007. Then the 2010s hit, and boom, they used that fame to launch billion-dollar businesses. And now they've cemented it all with their new hit show on Hulu. It's been a steady, calculated climb. And wow, this visual just says it all. On the left, you've got the Kardashian sisters in 1995. On the right, you see them today. This isn't just a change in fashion. It's a complete transformation in how they present themselves to the world. They went from reality stars to global power players. Which brings us to their legacy. For years, they've had to deal with that criticism of being famous for being famous. But that's a whole narrative the family has worked really, really hard to change. And Kim's response to that is pretty direct. She's basically saying that while they might not have a traditional talent like singing, their talent is business, and their business is their life. They've figured out how to monetize their own existence through just pure hard work. Kris builds on that, and she points to what she calls their superpower. It's not just the business side of things, it's that mix of family and company. They do it all together, and that's their strength. So, at the end of the day, what is their legacy? Are they just pop culture icons who captured a specific moment in time? Or have they actually created a brand new blueprint for a family-run, multi-billion-dollar business? You know, the truth is, they've blurred the line between those two things so completely, it might be impossible to ever separate them again.